Welcome to Roger That Garage. Today I have decided to take a little road trip in my 1978 Dodge D200. What I'm doing is taking my 904 transmission out of for the Barracuda to a transmission shop, which is about, well, it's a little over an hour drive on back roads, kind of the scenic route. So I decided to let my nice new Chevy truck sit in the garage, and I'm going to take this since it's a sunny, not very warm day, but it's a sunny day. So just a quick walk around on this truck. It's a 1978, like I said, two-wheel drive, long bed D200. It's got a big block 400 and a 727 automatic transmission. Probably looks a little better on camera than it does in person. It's got a few dings and dents. It's all original. Original seat, plaid and all that. She was an old fuck, I think, in Wyoming. So there's almost no rust anywhere on it. But it's very good shape. I've done a little work to it. I've had it for about 2.5 years. I redid all the brakes, new alternator. There was a 2-barrel. There's the transmission. It was a 2-barrel truck. And I put a 383 4-barrel intake on it. So it makes a little more power now. But yeah, it's a great truck. I just love cruising in it. So I haven't really driven it that far. So we'll see how it goes. Here we go. Got about 50 miles to go. 410 gears, no overdrive. But speed limits are around between 50 and 60, 65, I think, on the back roads that I'm going. So it's probably about 35 degrees outside, so the windows will be up. I put new door sills and all that, but it still makes a little wind whistling noise, but that's alright. So see how it goes. I'm gonna stop at the Choke and Puke here, get some go juice, top it off, maybe see what kind of mileage we get. Hit every single stoplight in town, 4 or 5 stoplights, but we're finally done with those, getting up out of town now. Finally, the open road. Going around that mountain right there. So that down there, the bottom of that valley, used to be a huge lake when I was a kid. There were some floods around here in the early to mid 80s, and it memories as a kid was riding with my family. My dad had this old Plymouth trail duster. We were on the other side of that lake over there, and we got a flat tire. And I remember him jacking it up, putting the spare on. So we've been Mopar people for a long time. Pretty nicely. We're going about 60 miles an hour and about 3,000 RPMs. Seems pretty happy with it. I love single cab long bed trucks. It reminds me of my childhood. My grandpa ran a little cattle operation, and when I was probably 6-7 years old, my dad would stick me in the cab of this old Ford truck with a flatbed, and he'd put it in 4-low and just let it idle along, creep along, and tell me to steer a certain direction, and I would steer it, and he would throw the hay off the back for the cows. I remember being kind of terrified of it because there was like a berm coming up, and I was like, wondered if my dad was going to jump back in the truck and stop it before I hit it. But I love single cab long beds. They remind me of old farm trucks that I grew up around. Now we're on the other side of that mountain, and we're going over there to the big city transmission shop. It's just something about making you feel alive and like a man driving a carbureted vehicle long distance. There. All right, we made it. Took a wrong turn. Had to get on the freeway for a minute, stupidly, but yeah, made it. All right, transmission is dropped off, and I'm turning and burning. Get me out of this city, back on the country roads. This is a brand new freeway right here. I've never been on it before. It's growing so dang fast out here. It's crazy. Alright, I decided to stop at the local watering hole on the way out of town. Splash some Go Juice in it. I probably would have made it back just fine, but I didn't want to worry about it. But I actually got 12 miles to the gallon, which surprised me. Usually it gets about 8 miles a gallon around town. So anyway, truck's running great, and I'm just gonna head on home. There's a better view of the mountain. I gotta go around right there. Alright, I'm almost back home. Trip went really good. It's about 110 miles. Truck ran great. I'm glad I did it. I almost talked myself out of it and drove one of my newer trucks, but I would have just been bored. But right now I'm feeling good. I had some fun. Got to use my old truck. Sorry, it's terrible camera angle. Anyway, yes, I hauled my 904 transmission for my Cuda to the transmission shop with my 727 transmission in this old 1978 Dodge D200. So, yeah, it was a good trip. It was the longest trip I've ever done in this truck. I don't even think I've driven the Cuda that far, which is pretty sad. It's only over 100 miles, but anyway, yeah, over and out.